kids, I'm Miss Kylie.
And I'm Mr. Derek, and we are so happy you decided to join us for Kids Church today. We are in a series where we are learning all about how to have daring faith. Throughout this series, we will be looking at people in our Bibles who are great examples of how we should live our lives with daring faith.
Remember last week we learned about Noah and how he fully trusted God. He was willing to be brave and go against what everyone else was doing and have faith that God was going to do what he said he was going to do. We can also trust that God will always do this.
I'm really excited to find out who we are going to be learning from today. But before we do that, let's jump up on our feet and sing a worship song together.
Your perfect love is rising.
Thank you guys for singing with us. You sounded great. Mr. Derek, is there something on your phone that is more important than being present for Kids Church?
Well, I really just wanted to know what happened to those astronaut brothers, so I've been searching on the internet to try to find them.
Well, I have great news. I have the video, so how about we go check in with Hank and Charlie and see how they're doing?
Hank! Yeah? Are we dead yet? What? I said, are we dead yet? No! At least I don't think so. Okay. That's good.
How are you guys doing?
Good! We're doing great!
The vibrations you're currently experiencing are normal and will halt in about 4 seconds.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. The shaking seems rather noticeable. This isn't so bad. The worst of it's over.
You're doing great. We still have the hard part ahead of us. Okay, guys, you're gonna feel a slight jolt in a second when we release the external tank.
Copy that. Hank? Yeah. I'm having a bit of a situation. What's up? I have to use the little boy's room. Now? Yeah, right now. I told you to go before we boarded. You didn't go?
In about 10 minutes, we're going to fire the Phase 2 OMS rockets and you'll start the second part of the trip. When you reach a stable position in the new moon's orbit, you'll be able to get out of your flight seats. Until then, stay put in case we encounter something unexpected.
Charlie, would you sit still? Not even out of the stratosphere yet, and you're driving me crazy. Hank, I can't hold it anymore. Just chill out. I have to go, right now. What am I supposed to do, just sit here by myself? This is just great. What if I think of something funny to say? Thank you. Thanks everyone for coming out. You've been great. So I mean, what's up with airplane food? Am I right? Shake it off. Hoo-hoo. Mr. President, the documents are here. I'm not the president. You're an alien. What? I need $1 million on my desk by Monday. Bow, bow, bow. Shake it off.
Okay, in about 2 minutes, we're going to fire the Phase 2 OMS rockets, and you'll start the second part of the trip.
Copy that. Attention, Gold Leader. We are not currently operational. We are currently, one issue. Charlie is minus this room. We request, an extension of time before pre-launch sequence, please. Charlie, we're taking off! Get back here!
Have you guys ever been in a scary situation? The more I watch these videos with Hank and Charlie, the mission that they are on seems to be pretty scary. Have you ever been in a situation where you doubted that God would provide for you?
I have definitely felt that way sometimes. Like when my grandpa got really sick or when I had to move to a different school. And when we are in situations like this, it can be really hard to know how to respond to it.
Well, in our Bible story today, there was a giant problem that people were facing, and most of the people ran away scared from the situation. But there was a young shepherd boy who trusted God so much that he was willing to stand up to this giant problem.
Remember that when we dig into our Bibles, we can learn so much. It isn't just stuff that was relevant a long time ago. We can practice it in our lives too. So while we listen to this Bible story, look for ways that we can stand up to the giant problems in our lives. Let's grab our Bibles, turn to 1 Samuel 17, and jump into our Bible story.
There once was a giant named Goliath who taunted the Israelite army, yelling terrible things about God and hurling insults at them. The Israelites were terrified of him. Even King Saul was afraid. Goliath asked for one Israelite soldier to fight him, man to man, but no one would come forward except for a young shepherd boy named David. David went to King Saul of the Israelites and said, "I will fight Goliath. I am not afraid." King Saul doubted David because he was only a boy, and he said, "Don't be ridiculous. There's no way you can win." But David told Saul about how he had scared off and killed fierce and wild animals that had tried to get his father's sheep, and how he used his shepherd's staff and his slingshot to protect the flock. David knew that with God on his side, he could do the same to Goliath. So King Saul let David go, but he made David try on his own armor to use as protection. The armor was heavy and clunky, and David was not used to it, so he chose to leave the armor behind. He knew in his heart that he only needed God's protection, his slingshot, and 5 smooth stones to defeat the giant. Goliath laughed at David when he approached him, calling him bad names and taunting him too. But David was not afraid. He said to Goliath, "God will hand you over to me, and I will strike you down. It is God who will conquer you, and I will win." And so, David put one smooth stone into his slingshot, aimed right at Goliath, and fired. Goliath fell to the ground, dead. And so, the giant was defeated by a young shepherd boy named David.
Wow, David was facing a literal giant. How do you guys think you would be feeling going up to battle against this great giant that everyone was afraid of? I think I would be terrified. Goliath certainly was a huge problem that scared many people, but David was willing to have daring faith and trust that God would provide for him even in this really scary situation.
When we are in scary situations, it can be hard to remember stories like this. But when we are struggling and facing our own giants, we can remember that God fought the battle for David, and he is right there beside us fighting our battle. We can have a giant-slaying faith if we are willing to trust and remember that God promises to take care of us.
David had daring faith by trusting God. He was willing to do what everyone else thought was crazy because he trusted that God would take care of him and provide for him. I think Pastor Steve has a little bit more to teach us about that. So let's check in with him and see what more we can learn.
Hi guys. Now, the story of David and Goliath is a popular story, and a lot of you have heard that story before. And in the story, Goliath really was this big, mean, ugly giant, and he was coming against God's people, and no one wanted to fight him. And here's little David, just a little guy, but he trusted that God would be with him, and he faced Goliath and he defeated him. Now, Goliath, actually for you and I, is represented in things like bullies, problems, these obstacles that come our way and we don't really know how we're going to fight them. And it may be an actual bully at school. It may be something going on at home. It may be something that you're afraid of that you just don't know how you're going to be able to overcome. And what David and Goliath, the story of David and Goliath, it tells us that God will be with us. We can trust God to fight our battles and know that nothing in our life is so big that it can overcome God. We can have daring faith just like David.
Just like Steve said, there is nothing too big that can overcome God. God is all-powerful and promises to be with us in the hills and the valleys. That means in the high points of our lives when everything is going great, and in the low points when things really aren't going well.
I want you to think of a giant in your life. Do you have one? Maybe it is a bully, like Pastor Steve said, or maybe someone you love is sick. Well, I want you to know that in these hard or scary situations, we're not alone. God promises that He is fighting out battles with us. He helped David claim victory over Goliath, and He will help us through our problems too.
Sometimes our problems can seem so big, maybe big enough to stump God. But friends, I'm here to tell you there is no problem that is too big for our mighty God. He is much bigger than any problem we could ever face. Let's take comfort in knowing that our God is fighting our battles with us.
Here are your discussion questions for this week. If you want, you can pause the video right now and take some time to talk through these questions with your parents or another family member. If not, don't worry. We'll put them up again at the end of the video so you can use them later. And now, let's sing another song together.
In a world of darkness, you are my light. I will not fear, you're by my side. And I'm running, I'm breaking through the night. By the power of your might, the power of your might. Give me life everlasting. You make me new. Jesus Christ, never ending. All because of you, I am unstoppable. Whoa, oh, oh. I am unstoppable. Whoa, oh, oh. I'm tearing down these walls that hold me back. Can't stop me now, can't keep me down. Don't count me out. 'Cause I'm running, running, breaking through the night. By the power of your might, the power of your might. You give me life everlasting. You make me new. Jesus Christ, never ending. All because of you. I am strong, I am brave. I'm not alone, I'm not afraid. Because of you, I am unstoppable. I'm a child of God, standing strong on the solid rock. Yeah, I got power inside from the Most High. And I'm gonna light this world up, 'cause I'm on fire. Ignite, see me breaking chains in His name. Unstoppable, no matter the obstacle. Nothing is impossible. Never gonna quit, never gonna stop moving. Yeah, I'm gonna win, no way I'm losing. No way I'm losing. I'm unstoppable. You give me life everlasting. You make me new. Jesus Christ, never ending. All because of you. I am strong, I am brave. I'm not alone, I'm not afraid. Because of you, I am unstoppable. I am unstoppable. Whoa, oh, oh. I am unstoppable. Whoa, oh, oh. I am unstoppable. Whoa, oh, oh. I am unstoppable.
I still can't imagine being David and being willing to fight this giant. He was so tiny that he had no armor that could fit him. He really could have gotten really hurt, but he had daring faith and he trusted that God would fight the battle for him. He knew that God was going to provide for him.
I'm excited to continue to dig into our Bibles with you guys and learn about real people who walked this earth and how they had daring faith. We hope you have a great week, and we can't wait to see you again. Bye!